discuss a little bit today about how Cambridge Partners has gone in 2020, but I think more around, it's been a challenging year and some of the opportunities that we see going forward in light of the trends that are happening. 2020 has been a really interesting year and it's been challenging, but sometimes it's these challenges that test our preparedness for the unexpected and our ability to react when change is required. As Pip mentioned, we invested last year in a big upgrade to our technology, and we benefited through COVID from this immensely, through being prepared and being able to basically switch from working in the office to working completely remotely within one day with very minimal impact to our overall operations and how we work. In fact, prior to COVID-19 rearing its head, we'd actually done a business continuity plan and risk management practice where we went through a scenario involving a pandemic. So what good luck and timing that was. As a result of working remotely during the lockdown, we also saw a number of changes in our business which have carried on as well, such as the widespread use of video conferencing for working with clients, but also our other key stakeholders and business partners, better use of technology and working with our clients and our partners, and a huge reduction in the amount of paper with the printer located back in the office. But it's interesting to also see the wider trends emerging outside of our business in New Zealand in terms of COVID-19. So we've seen, a huge surge in the online demand for streaming services as one example. We've seen increases in online shopping and people's, use of delivery and postage services. And we've also seen a massive disruption in traditional supply chains as different countries have been shut down and in lockdowns and business impacted in different ways. But one trend that's occurring closer to home is the return of Kiwis and expats from overseas. So for the past 10 years, we've experienced what everyone's referred to as the brain drain. And now for the slide I clicked too early. We're now seeing the brain wave as these Kiwis look to return to New Zealand. And that's actually pretty exciting because whilst it provides some challenges, for the likes of our housing market, it also provides New Zealand businesses with an opportunity to really increase their skill sets and leverage off some of the experiences of these returning Kiwis. That helps them grow their businesses, but it also helps them grow the New Zealand economy in the long run. For Cambridge Partners, this provides us with an opportunity for our expat and US services team to keep growing and delivering our financial advice and structuring services, but it's also allowed us to continue building the capabilities within our team by growing our team with a few of these returning Kiwis. More on that later. Outside of COVID-19, we're seeing the continuing trend in terms of the integration of financial markets globally. What this allows is that New Zealand investors now have the ability to access more investments opportunities at lower cost, which is actually really exciting as well. On one hand, this is a great opportunity, whilst on the other, it also means that the process of going through, selecting, monitoring, and doing the due diligence on those investments is really important, and putting them in the context of their long-term strategy. At Cambridge Partners, we're continually looking at new opportunities as they become available. And as Scott will talk through a bit later on, there's some work going on at the moment in terms of some different things that are emerging and some impacts that we're seeing in the investment markets around the world. But I think overall, the key for us in terms of Cambridge Partners and ensuring that we keep being prepared for the unexpected in the future and ready to react to any new trends or changes as they occur, who knows what they may be, is the investment in technology. So we've invested a lot in technology in the past few years, and it's something we really want to continue investing in. And the reason we want to do that and stay ahead of the curve is we see technology as a way to bring better financial advice and better investment solutions to our clients. But I think most importantly, in putting it in context, is that technology is going to allow us to spend more time dealing with the key issues that our clients want to discuss. And they're typically the key issues that technology alone cannot solve. Another area we're also very focused on is cybersecurity and data protection. In 2020, particularly since the beginning of the lockdowns that occurred globally, we have seen a significant increase in the amount of cyber attacks, phishing attacks, and cloud hacking attacks around the world. In fact, I think on average across businesses that reported within a few surveys, they've seen around a 600% increase. So that's fairly material. Now, while you can be confident that we've responded to these increases and we've put in place measures to ensure that we've safeguarded and continue to monitor our systems, we encourage everyone to stay vigilant, not to immediately trust what you receive via email or see on the internet. As outlined in the very last cybersecurity article I read, 85% of people posting puppy photos on Facebook are probably trying to scam you, so be careful. Another way we're looking at investing in the future is through our team. In the last 12 months, we've made several new hires to continue building our capabilities in specialist areas. Ashley joined us back in March from KPMG, where she worked as a senior tax manager. Ashley's brought us significant tax, financial and business expertise to the team and is also a valued addition to our investment committee. Ashley managed to get married in Bali, join Cambridge Partners and go into lockdown all in 1 month, so it's been a busy year. Cameron joined us in September after returning to New Zealand in 2018 after 14 years in Europe and the UK, working with Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank in their FX trading team. After a busy stint overseas, Cameron decided that he would come back and take on the easy project of a lifestyle block with his wife and 4 kids. Little did he know. Jack also joined us in September and is in the final process of completing his degree at Polytech. In fact, Jack has his final exam tomorrow, so good luck. Jack's worked with Airways in the past out at Christchurch Airport and will be focused on driving our technology strategy forward with a particular focus on cybersecurity and data protection. And finally, Johnny joined us just this week after previously working for Manulife, an investment insurance company in the UK. Previously, Johnny worked for the Reserve Bank here in New Zealand. Now, Johnny's settling back into life in New Zealand after 2 weeks in isolation. So if you want any insights into staying in the Ibis Hotel in Hamilton, or more importantly, 2 weeks with a toddler in one hotel room, feel free to grab him after the briefing. And finally, with everything else going on, the teams continue to be busy with community-based activities, whether it's cooking at Ronald McDonald House, supporting championship-winning football teams, or carving up the local fun run down in the park. It's always good to be spending time on things outside of work. So that wraps up my piece, and I'm now going to hand you over to Scott, who will give his much-anticipated update on investment markets.